Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Firstly, let me apologise for my lack of uploads recently. It's crazy. It's crazy times at the moment. For those of you who don't know, I work in football, and it's getting towards the end of the season, and just everything is happening. So I'm looking forward to the end of the season when I can do a lot more pinballing. Done hardly any pinballing at all recently, actually. I'm joined by Craig. You'll know Craig. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, mate. Very, very well. It has been a while, to be fair, mate, hasn't it? It's been a little while since we've properly caught up, and since you've done a chinwag, it's been a while.
Yeah. We're not just chinwags. We haven't even had a chat on the phone or anything, have we?
No, it's true. Like I was saying before we came on, it's been like the longest period properly that we've not really had a proper chat since, well, I don't know, in the last couple of years, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's been crazy, mate. Well, what have you been playing?
Or
have you? Have you been busy like me?
I haven't been playing much, to be fair. I have been very busy. I bought Dirty Harry recently, which is nice. So yeah, and I really do like that game. It's a really fun game, and so I've managed to get that set up in the garage. And yeah. That's been one I've played a lot of. Your Batman 66 as well.
Yeah, naughty. You've been naughty on that. You've abused it.
Yeah, no, I to be fair, I reckon I've played. I probably played maybe 50 games. My boy's probably played more of it than I. He's a bit obsessed with Batman at the minute, but yeah, no. So those two really have been what I've been playing. I've also got a Whitewater as well, which is actually ironically going pretty soon. But yeah, so those are the three that I've been playing. I don't know if it was quite a few months ago now, but I put out a post on the forum for renting my machines because I was pretty overloaded with games, and hence you can tell the fact that I've bought a Dirty Harry since the addiction doesn't stop. But yeah, so quite a few of my games have gone out on loan. Like Godzilla's gone out, Jurassic Park has gone out.
Rent.
Sorry, yeah.
That's what we got to start saying because I do it as well. Rent.
Yeah. Well, some have gone out on loan as well. So David's got my Flash Gordon at the moment. I've let him borrow it for a bit. But yeah, some have gone out on rent, which has meant that because like realistically, Godzilla's never gonna go. That's a game that I think I will keep that forever. Jurassic Park is mine and my brother's, and that's his favorite game, so that was not gonna go. So it's one of those where I was just like, they're there. I'm always gonna play them. Maybe I've got all these other games. I'd like to rotate some more in. So yeah, so my garage at the moment is Batman 66, Dirty Harry, Whitewater, Paragon, and yeah, Flash Gordon's just gone. So yeah.
Nice guy. Yeah, I love the old Whitewater, mate. And I liked Dirty Harry when I played it. Actually, nice couple of ramps on it, as I think. And yeah, just sort of made all the shots were in the right place. Remember, playing terrible, one of the worst condition machines I've ever seen in a very dark, dingy arcade. Yeah, it was awful. They had no business. They had no right to have pinball machines there. It was disgusting, actually.
Yeah.
The pinball machine needed rescuing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It was like. I felt like they were Joe Exotic, and
you were on holiday,
and the pinball machines were tigers, and they needed rescuing.
You were on holiday with your kids, right? Is that the one? Like when you were?
I wasn't actually. No. I'll tell you where I was. It was in Farnborough.
Okay.
And it's one of those arcades where you pay a tenner. You pay a tenner and you get an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
And had loads and loads of stuff on there. But there were 3 arcade machines. And one of them was Dracula. One of them was Judge Dredd, which wasn't working. Dracula, the flipper got stuck up, actually. I thought, wow, look at that live catch. No, the flipper's just stuck. And then Dirty Harry, which just all the shots were all felt in the right places. I tell you what, you play like a demon when there's a limited amount of time, you know what I mean? And there's actually some money on it. I might put some coin mechs in my games, actually make me a better player.
You try a bit harder, don't you? You try a bit harder when he's costing you £1 a go or whatever.
I get my money's worth here. Yeah,
that's it, isn't it? No, I tell you what, Dirty Harry is. I was speaking of Kaylee George, who is one of the top players in the world. I was actually speaking to him last night about it, because we'll get onto it. We'll talk about why it is that we're doing the podcast a bit later. But I was having a chat with him last night, and we were talking about Dirty Harry, and he was telling me that it's one of his favorite games, because the game forces you to use the whole of the playfield. You've got to play every shot. There's no like way around it. Like I always talk about theory of magic as the polar opposite of that, where I basically, if I'm going to play it, I'm only going to play one shot, which is the left orbit. That's it. Nothing else. Like however beautiful a game it is, however great that right ramp feels, or I don't care. All I'm going to shoot is the left orbit. Whereas Dirty Harry, there's no real one dominant strategy or way of playing it that doesn't mean that you have to make all the shots, which is lovely, and it forces you to to play it well, which is really good.
No, that's great, mate. That's great. Yes, it's a really good heavy. Everyone says a heavy game. Is that right? Did you notice?
Yeah. It's 95, isn't it? It's when they were building them right, So yeah, it is heavy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I've got well, we'll get onto. We know what we're getting onto it anyway. We'll get onto Roadshow in a bit. It's just down there at the moment, which I've got Sopranos.
Yeah.
That's only down because I've been fitting a mod on Deadpool, which is installed now. Hell House Scoop.
Oh, I saw you post that. Yeah. Okay, so you've got one of those. Where's that from?
Oh, hold on. He's Hot Mods. I'm pretty sure he's Hot Mods. It's John. I'll just name it as John. It's John. Hold on. I'm pretty sure he's Hot Mods.
In America, or is it Europe?
No. He's from the UK. He's a lovely guy. Where's he? J85 or something like that on the forum.
J85M, isn't it?
Yeah. Lovely guy. He came down to Pinfest. Met him first at Pinfest. He came down at Pinfest, but he couldn't stay at Pinfest for long because his boy had an accident, so he had to and hurt himself. So he had to leave sort of quite early from there. He's made first of all, he's made this, which is really, really, really good. So I'm going to release the video on that over the next day or two.
Nice.
He's also done the shooter rod. That's a twanger for those of you that like to tune in regularly. He's done like a James Bond one where you flick it up and press a button. So it's like he's become Q. It's like if Q, Q from James Bond, if he were to make a twanger, this is how he'd make it. So it's like basically like the gear knob on the DB5. And he flicks up the gear knob and he pushes the button, which makes a missile. He's basically made the plunger that. Very good. Very good. So anyway, so
these
done
people
this
amaze me.
Oh, they're clever. They're clever.
Like with Stumbler and that, with Davies.
Well, this is with Stumbler's board. So this is with Davies' board. So they've sort of so he's using Davies' technology to light this wonderful thing full of detail. So the reason Soprano has been pushed to the side is so I've got the cameras. And the light, it's like in here. So I moved that to one side, which is why I built that section. But Sopranos, love it.
You're loving it, yeah.
I love it.
It is a good game. I've not had loads of time on it, but when I have played it, I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably, player at your stands, you'd probably find it very easy.
Well, no, to be fair, to make it to whatever the last one is, and again, I've played it a couple of times on location, but I've only ever really played it in tournaments, so obviously set up hard. But I've made it to underboss, I think, but I've not made it all the way through.
I think there's a big jump. It's great. All the shots are where they should be. But I love this game. And I said to Andy said to me, of course you love the game. So why's that? He said, well, it's George Gomez and it's Keith Elwin's done the code. I went, oh, right. Okay. He said, yeah, of course you'd like it. I'm right. Yeah. Okay. That sort of makes sense. I start thinking, hold on. Yeah, that is very much like Bride of Frankenstein shot. And I'm sort of looking at, okay, yeah, no, he's very much with a little boat one. He does like a little tight little metal ramp, doesn't he? So
yeah. And that I like the little spinner on the left as well. That little one there to start the mode, isn't it? It's cool. It's cool. And the obviously there's the safe in the middle. It's quite a cool little mech, cool little toy. Not like super fancy, but it does what it does, doesn't it? It's nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, so I went to John's house. A few of us went to John's house. Actually, had a nice pinball evening up there. Actually, so I was lucky enough. as I say, I've got, because of work, I've got so much stuff
Yeah,
backed up. I've got a Pirates of the Caribbean video backed up. I've got a
yeah,
Hobbit video. Anyway, it's got loads of these videos. We went to John's, had a really good night. So you had Hobbit, which is just packed, absolutely packed.
yeah,
With a big screen. Then you had James Bond, the Pro, the new James Bond. The weird thing was, this James Bond wasn't. I've got a James Bond video on this thing on this channel, but this James Bond wasn't playing the same. I just couldn't find the. Well, you said to me, you said the video. You said, oh, you had a really good ball, didn't you? I
you
had a
did,
good
you
first
did.
ball. I was hitting that orbit. I was
Yeah,
finding the shots. Couldn't. So I can hit the shot on this other one, this James Bond, still a James Bond Pro. Couldn't find the orbit at all.
yeah,
Just couldn't get it. I was playing all right. So I was playing other games all right. It just seemed so stripped down. And then next to it was a got to get this right, not CSI 24.
yeah,
Right, not the best game in the world, far from it. But because I'm just talking about when you talk about when they're building games, right? And you said Dirty Harry and loads of mechanisms on it. There's a guard tower thing pops down. You
yeah,
thought, actually, all right, the game's not great. The
yeah,
theme's awful, and it is an ugly looking game and looks dated because it's
yeah,
based on a show that's 20 years old, probably, or
yeah.
whatever it is. But wow, the money that Stern were putting into those games, and nothing was scrimped. There must be 3 or 4 mechanisms on there. On what is
Funny, isn't it? Yeah,
crappy old
yeah.
game, you know.
24, yeah, that was a weird time for pinball, like CSI and 24, those games and Wheel of Fortune around that age was really dark times for Stern.
I'm sure, yeah,
Like really, really, really dark times where you like, I think the chat was that they sold like 500 or like
sure,
nothing
yeah,
of these games, and because of and everybody knew that those things would be dated. These actors that were in CSI or whatever
yeah,
at
for
that time,
sure,
you're
yeah.
like, oh, and it looked crap. The artwork's crap,
Mm.
I haven't had a 24. I have played it. I've played it quite a bit, and I quite enjoy it as well. I had a CSI. I quite enjoyed that. You got this centrifuge which just
Sure.
spins the ball around. You got this like skull lock mod, like mechanism that lifts up and down and stuff. It's not like there was nothing on it. It's just they were getting it wrong. They did a number of licenses, like Wheel of
Yes,
Fortune.
yeah.
Imagine trying to sell Wheel of Fortune in the
Oh,
UK, an American TV show, and a few have made it over it, but like it's just like whoever
yeah,
was in charge of licensing at that point at
yeah,
Stern, and they just got it wrong, and so that was a time
yeah.
where people were talking about like this is it, that they're done, that it's pinball, that their last manufacturer, Stern, they're done, and then obviously things changed with Spider-Man, and then it all started picking back up again.
Sure. Yeah, but you can see, yeah, yes, the theme, I totally agree. But it was just next to Bond, the James Bond Pro, and this was
Yeah,
supposedly crappy game,
yeah,
24. Just the amount of extra stuff that was in 24. But wow, it just made
interesting.
Bond look so stripped down, so stripped down.
Yeah,
Not it was don't get me wrong, it was ugly and all that stuff that you say. But you thought, hold on a second, I've hit that, and the guard, whatever. I think it was a guard tower, and some like assassins came out with their rifles.
that's
Like
right.
little
Yeah,
thing. Another thing, and there was something got to like lock a ball into a safe or something, whatever it was. I don't know what it
yeah.
was. It wasn't safe. It was something else, but another mechanism there. So I mean, it was Anyway, it was really really good. Craig, we got Yen back in the old green room. I like to call it the green room. It's just a little window at the bottom of the computer screen, really. But the green room makes it sound nice. We're going to bring him in 5 minutes. I just wanted to let him know because he will be watching this. Because we're going to talk about some other stuff. I want to talk about Roadshow. Just before I do, because My Godzilla is actually going out. We talk about rental. My Godzilla is going out on rent. The reason it hasn't done yet is I've been waiting for something. Want a little sneaky teaser?
Let's have a look.
Of course you do.
Ooh, that's sexy.
It's obviously the lock bar is upside down.
Yeah, I remember you sending me through the original ideas for
My
this.
Photoshop stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So is that still in Germany? Is it?
It is, but he's done. He's done. So
Okay.
that's done. He's done the coin door's done, and all this. It's all done, and it just looks.
You excited? Yeah.
Oh, massive.
Yeah.
I mean, even to the point where he's done, like where he's made like the the rivets and the welds. She says made him
yeah.
look old on the side. You know, I mean, some of them are just, and there's other bits where he's done it on the legs. He's got done bits of rust on them and stuff like that. He's gone.
Very cool.
He's gone above and beyond, really.
I could look, it's taking it all in. I can see you got Mecha Godzilla there with the they coming out of his eyes or something. Yeah,
Mecha Godzilla's coming out of his eyes.
Yeah, very.
We got Godzilla is coming out of his mouth. Then we got another one of the coin door, Mothra's coming out of his bum.
Mate, it's very cool. Very cool. I like it, mate. Yeah, it'd be great to see it on the game, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, I just wanted that done, and it's going out.
Yeah, nice. Buddy.
So be really looking forward to that.
Well, whoever's renting that, mate, lucky guy.
Well, it's going to be good. It's all the mods, right? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. And you're right. I heard what you were saying about it the other day in the thread. About when you talk about your competition, your tournament stuff, and about you love Godzilla. Which we'll talk about in a bit. And before we get on to that, we bring Yuen in. We've got you. So we've done a little swapsy wopsy.
Yeah.
So as we've already discussed, you've been abusing and have I got a single score left on Batman? Is there anything? Does my name appear on it at all?
To be fair, so what I did was I left it on the settings that it came with.
10 ball, and 20 extra balls. Yeah. No wonder you got 50 billion. It's whatever, 213 billion, wasn't it?
Something over 200 billion. Yeah. So it was on 3 ball. I played it on 3 ball, but it had all the extra balls on. Sure. So I reckon it must have been 5 extra balls, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. It must have been. I don't know. And I actually did that score the day that I set it up. To over 200 billion, which was, I don't know how long that was, mate. It was a lot.
I bet it was. Yeah.
It was well over an hour. It might have been pushing 2 hours, to be honest. I actually did have a break. I went in. I went and had dinner and then came back to it. It was about 60 billion, I remember. And I was like, right, I'm going to have a little break there. I'll come back in like 20 minutes, let it all cool down a bit. And then I carried on. Yeah, it was.
Right. So literally after ball 1 or whatever, you just,
Yeah, I did. I got to 60 billion and it was dinner time. And so I was just like, right, I'll go back in. Came back. And finished on 213 billion or something like that. Yeah, it was. And I'd read about how to play it, hadn't ever played, I think the most that prior to that I'd ever got on it was at Neil McRae's, which I played in competition. I think I got 1.6 billion on it. And that was the most I'd ever got on it. But I'd obviously done my research in terms of how it is that you unlock the game and all that kind of stuff. And managed to do it. And it just kind of, I think there was a shot towards the end for 26 billion for one shot.
Wow.
Yeah. It's one of the, and I still don't really understand, I don't understand the true depths of it. The thing is that game.
Oh really? Okay.
I definitely don't. Again, I spoke about Kaylee before. So he's probably the most famous pinball player in terms of rules knowledge. Ironically, Sopranos, he's destroyed Sopranos for competition players because he's the master of the 3-switch rule, which means that if you don't hit 3 switches, the playfield isn't validated, which means that you can just continuously play pinball. So if you plunge it, hit 1 switch, let the ball drain, then you get another go at it. I know it's quite a strange thing to kind of get your head around, but basically on the era of that game, the ball save won't come on until you've hit 3 switches on the playfield. Okay, what he worked out is that on the Sopranos, you can short plunge, catch it on the right flipper, backhand the little target in front of the boat.
Yeah,
let the ball drain. Do it again, then you get a lock. It's not made 3 switches, so you can basically get into multi-ball without ever being in danger at all of draining if you're that skillful. And so he did it in competition, and it just destroyed the game, because it's just like that's the way that everybody then decided to play it. It's skillful, it's not easy to do, but it meant that you basically could play endlessly, because you could just always get back into multi-ball.
That's a challenge, isn't it? That's a challenge.
Really, it's really like that. And I think this is the thing. So after that, everybody like took Soprano. You know, he destroyed the game for all competitions and stuff. But actually, if you, I couldn't do it every time. It's not like you can just do it. It's hard to do. You know, so there's a huge amount of skill involved. Anyway, I went off piste a little bit there. What was I talking about before? I was talking about Soprano.
We were talking about Batman.
Yeah, he's got a Batman 66, and I remember speaking to him about all the multipliers and stuff like that, and where it is that you place the multipliers once you shoot certain stuff. And I still don't get all of that.
Yeah.
All I've done is basically worked out how to do this one thing that I'll do a tutorial on it when the time comes.
He's been to your house before, hasn't he, Kaylee?
He has. Yeah.
You can't let him play. If he comes over, you can't let him play the game. You can't let him on Batman. You know, this is just getting ridiculous. The thing's getting wiped, quite frankly.
He's like different league. To be fair, he's just obsessive when it comes to the rules, knowledge, and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he's like I don't know. I think he's 700 billion or something like that. He's got on his Batman 66, and that's probably set up really hard, you know. So yeah.
Well, I'm going to give you Roadshow. Well, Roadshow has already got my name on it. Quite frankly, your Roadshow, but I do know it was wiped.
So what score have you? What's your best on it?
500s.
Okay,
million, something like that. It's not. Look, number one, I've not played it very. Well, I say not played it very much. I mean, I've not played it at all. I've had 50 odd games on it. Yeah, you know, so let's get that right. But you know, for reasons I said at the start of the video, I've just been so busy, haven't been able to play it and learn it and dial in those shots which you spoke about, which are obviously the ramp shots. But you are right. I do get that little combo, which then you do it and you trap it up with a little flipper and then hit it across to the other side. It's a hard game, though, Craig. It is. It's not an easy game. I've got to say, it's not an easy game.
Yeah, it all depends on the way that you play it. I would say if you're going for multi-ball, I think it is hard. I think if the way that you are primarily playing it, the multi-ball is tricky because there's no ball save in the multi-ball, is there?
No.
So it's a bit like Fishtails. It's quite brutal in that it's hard to cut. You know, you've got two jackpots that you're basically hitting, up the middle and then into her face. You know, and you're repeating that. But multi-ball doesn't last very long. So if all you're doing is whacking the bulldozer and going for the locks and trying to do that, I was speaking to David VI, you know, Roadshow King, and he agreed, and he you know, he's perhaps a bit more closer to your level in terms of play, and he said like he found it very frustrating at the beginning until it was the case that he started working through the modes and going through the modes and, you know, backhanding the scoop and then getting through the miles and all that kind of stuff. So and to be fair, that's the way that I play it. That's the way that you know, from when I got it when I was 16.
Yeah,
I quite quickly worked out that actually multi-ball is multi-ball, and that will come along. But actually, the joy that I find in the game is really getting across the country. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, when you got the taxi one, you have got to hit the bulldozer for that, and that's a dangerous shot in itself.
It is. But, so I don't do it. You know,
but it's less dangerous off the left flipper.
Yeah. I still wouldn't do it.
Well, you got to do it in that mode, in that taxi mode.
No, you don't. Why do you?
Well, because you got to bash the taxis.
Yeah, but I just don't play it. I just
you sit there, you trap up, and you sit there for the modes, yeah?
Shoot, yeah, because it's like the most dangerous shot on the game. It's the same as Attack from Mars. It's the same debate as what we had with Attack from Mars. You got to shoot the source. No, you haven't. No, you haven't got.
I think you have. I think you have. Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to bring him in now. No, Yen, do we shoot the saucer in Attack from Mars?
Sometimes. I don't know. Craig's going to shoot me for saying that. But,
no, don't worry about him.
Situational. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a veteran like Craig,
the saucer
right?
in Attack from Mars.
You know, it's open. If I need some points, maybe.
Yeah.
There you go. How are you, mate?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Nice to see you. Thank you for coming on. You're very welcome. Well, myself and Craig. So Craig, just before we talk shop. the roadshow's in. I got to say, just tell me, because the roadshow's beautiful. Tell me about this screen, because I've never seen anything like it in terms of a color. I think it's a Pin 2 DMD.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
but whatever, a color DMD, and I prefer the LED to the LCD. This is LED.
Yeah,
but it's on steroids. This is I've seen nothing like this before.
It's with these Pin 2 DMDs. It's a labor of love for the individual who is coloring it, and I saw David's at the UK Open. He took his roadshow to be in the People's Bank at the UK Open, and I felt the same, Chris. Like, roadshow. I've never bought a color DMD. I've never bought a Pin 2 DMD. I've grown up with the orange displays, and that's just who I am. And I've never really LED'd many games. I'm a bit more of like just bulbs. I'm just into playing. I saw David's and I was blown away by it. I really was. The colorization on it is fantastic. Yeah. It really is very special, and it's actually still. It's still not. I think it's like 99% complete. It's not actually 100% complete. There's a couple of little bits. I think that the guy who's been doing it is still not 100% happy with, because it's a labor of love. It's it's taken years to get to that point, because he's doing it just in his free time, just doing more of the coloring of the files, and David was actually one of the beta testers for it. And he told me, and so he got the file early, and then that was the one that was at the UK Open. I was like, oh my God, I need to get this. And so then after that, I went away and I bought a Pin 2 DMD, and then we got the color files for it and managed to get it on there. But I agree with that. Like, some Pin 2 DMD color files, in my opinion, don't look amazing. I'd rather keep it orange. For me, this just it really brings it doesn't feel like a 94 game, if you like. It feels like
I've done all the shadows and everything.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
it is amazing.
Very very impressive. Well, listen, we're going to be featuring amongst lots of other things, we're going to be featuring that roadshow, and which has been lovely, really nicely brought back to life. Well, we'll show you before and after. That's been beautifully brought back to life by Neil Fellander, who, funny enough, who I bought my first ever pinball machine off. So we'll be showcasing that, and I know David's keen to see the roadshow video. Don't worry, mate. It will all be coming. We got that. We got Ants. Wonderful. Beautiful Adams Family stuff coming on. We've got Pirates of the Caribbean. We've got it's done. It's recorded. We've got your Ghostbusters one, which is top 50. Honestly, I've got about 20 videos ready to go. Anyway, Yuen, what's going on, mate? How's things? I hope we got a little tournament coming up.
Yeah. Can't wait, mate. It's going to be very exciting. Craig's like chomping at a bit. Like I see him there. He's ready. I'm ready.
So tell us about. So the pair of you are going, all right? But let's assume that nobody knows anything. Tell us, tell us where you're going, tell us when you're going, and tell us why you're going, please, mate.
Yeah, so it's the European Pinball Championships. It's in Fulda, Germany, and it's in about a week or so. So very excited about that. We've got 256 of the best players in the world going. It's at least the first, like the biggest proportion are invite only, right? So you had to be in the top 10 ranked players in each of your countries, and to be invited to come along. And I think US and rest of the world got 10 slots as well, didn't they, Craig? Yeah. But yeah, this is the list of names of people who are coming is pretty impressive. So we're excited about it. Let's
do you think? Because obviously you had a really good run, a really good time in the UK Open. Is that part of it? Is it part of the cumulative scoring that gets you the invite into this?
Well, I mean, obviously, you get your ranking points throughout the year, and the UK Open certainly helped to, put me in, the top 10. So, it will be all people who are, everybody there will be good, really good, and it's going to be another level. So, excited to be playing all those great players.
Because you're number 3 or something like that. Have I got that right?
4, yeah.
There you go. It's, yeah. Who knocked you down? No, you were. Yeah, I mean, you've had it, but when you go into you're doing a lot of stuff at Pinball Republic. I know you're always look at it, and Matt posts the scores up on a Thursday night. I know you're always scoring well on there. And let's be fair, we've had you on the Chinwag before. You've not really been in the hobby that long. So you've made quite a rise, mate. You must be thrilled and really excited to be going to this tournament.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it so much. The great hobby, great people. And this is my first, major tournament abroad, right? So, I've never been outside the UK to play, so it's something I'm really looking forward to. And let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens.
So, is it just you two from the UK going?
No,
Andy
no.
going?
Loads. Let me read you the list.
Somebody give me the list.
I'm going to give you the list because it's important to get that right. So my brother's actually going. My brother, so we said it was the top 10, but the thing was not everybody in the top 10 wanted to go, obviously, so for example, Wayne put the list out, and then not everybody filled up, so it went out to everybody, and then it was like who wants to go. So we've got myself and Yuen, Andy, Martin and Josh Isles, Peter Blakemore, Richard Rothwell Jackson, and Kate Rothwell Jackson. I don't know if you know them, Chris. Kate's a bit of a legend in the UK community. My brother, Neil McRae. Who else? Oh, Jeremy Dorling, who lives in the Netherlands, but he's a UK based player. Is that it? Can you think of anybody else, Yuen?
Not off the top of my head, actually. But did you get 10 there? Wait, 10 plus.
Who else is that? Yeah, I think that's it. That's
pretty good, isn't it? In terms of, if say 250.
Yeah, so we've got 11 UK based players going.
Yeah.
Oh. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good.
It's all right. Just to clarify, it's Andy Foster, not Andy Brock. Andy Brock, also an excellent player.
Yeah. Not Andy Newton.
No. Andy Newton. A lot of good Andys around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's a lot. Do you know what? We keep saying that. It's just Spencer the other day. I was talking about John, who did the Hell House. He went, John, no different, John. He said there's a lot of John. I said, well, yeah, just generally. I think, it's I think in any hobby, probably not just pinball. Probably in fishing, there's a lot of people called John as well. There's a lot of Johns, a lot of Andys, a lot of Chris's, a lot of everyone's, really, which just goes to show how popular the hobby is, really. So it's next week, right?
Yeah. So when are you going out? Yeah, and are you going on you going Wednesday or Thursday?
Thursday morning. Thursday. Yeah.
So I'm going out next Friday. So I've finished work on the Friday for half term, flying out on the Friday night. There's actually a tournament on the Friday. So are you playing in that?
On the Thursday, you mean?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Craig, right? Yeah. Fridays are qualifying already, right? I bet we'd be playing that.
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
So there's a warm-up tournament on the Thursday. We hope to be rushing Neil McRae style from the airport, getting in there and getting a chance to play some of the games because I've not been before, so that'd be good. It's pin golf to start with, so that'll be nice. And then all the qualifying is classics and main, big full Friday and Saturday of qualifying. The 256.
So this is so Chris, this is a place called Fulda, at a venue called Balls and Balls. So it's
Balls and Balls.
Yeah, so balls as in darts, So
boards and balls.
No, balls as in the balls.
Ball like bullseye, BULL. Okay,
you got it. And balls as in pinball.
Yeah,
an absolutely huge club with probably, I reckon, 50 machines that are like permanently located there. Really nice, like a lovely bar area as well, like big restaurant, massive venue. And basically over the last 5 or 6 years, they have become the biggest hub of pinball in the whole of Europe in terms of the tournament scene. So they have run massive tournaments at this location in Germany. And so they are holding this event, which is the European Pinball Championship. So I've said this on one of our Chinwags before, but basically on the world calendar there are 3 major tournaments. So there's the IFPA World Championship.
Yes.
There is Indisc, which is the Open World Championship. And then there is the EPC, the European Pinball Championship, which we have in Europe. And that's the 3 major championships. So if you want to consider yourself to be one of the best players in the world, you are aiming to win a major tournament, and those are the 3. So you only got 3 of those a year that you can go to. And 2 of them are obviously in America every 2 years. And then the IFPA World Championship comes to Europe once every other year. So 1 year it would be America, 1 year it would be in Europe, 1 year it would be America, 1 year it would be in Europe. But the thing is, with the IFPA World Championship, only the top 80 players in the world are get the invite. So only 2 of us from the UK get the invite every year. And then obviously every other year is in America. So that really kind of like makes it very difficult to qualify anyway. So that kind of writes one of them off for the majority of players, which leaves 2. So the EPC, which is an open format. So again, you could have played that in that, Chris, if you had really wanted to. Do you know what I mean? And you got a place like my brother's done. He's played in two tournaments or whatever this year, and he's managing to go. So you can get into it, and then the Open is the same. So it's one of those massive events. 256 players is huge. It's absolutely huge. But what they've done that's so special is they've combined the EPC with the IFPA World Championships. So this is why I am super excited. So the EPC is next weekend. The following weekend is the IFPA World Championships in Germany, about an hour away from Fulda. So they combined in 2 majors over the space of basically 11 days. Yeah.
Are you both going to both?
No, I'm going to the IFPA Worlds with Andy. We are the 2 UK representatives.
My pass expires after 4 days, Chris, so I have to get home.
Okay, right, okay, yeah. Well, fair enough. So you're staying out there for 11 days, Craig?
I'm doing 9 days, so I would love to go out for the Thursday like Yen's doing, but I can't. So I'll be qualifying on the Saturday and then coming back on the following Sunday. So 9 days, yeah. So this is why I've not played in any tournaments this year. And I've played in one, which was at Neil's. That's the only tournament I played in this year, because it's basically trying to just make sure that my wife's all right with the fact that I'm away for 9 days.
For 9 days.
Over half term. And
you're in your best behavior, are you, Craig?
That's it. I've been planning this for a year. I've literally been planning this for an entire year and earning brownie points to know what is going to, be away for 9 days, basically.
Well, it's expensive, Craig, to stay to sleep in a hotel and whatnot for 9 days, right?
Yeah. It's a massive commitment. But basically, as a few of the UK guys have said, Wayne and Matt has said, like, what is happening, Chris, is it's not, they have tried to appeal to so many players and try to get as many Americans to come over for this as possible. In that it's the EPC and the World Championship. And so it's not just those 2. Throughout the week in between, they are running something called the Pinball Olympics as well. So that's another 5 days of tournament. So in total, I think I'm going to be playing in 11 tournaments throughout the 9 days. And this is with, the top, like I haven't worked out, but in the top 100, you're probably 80% of the top 100 are going to be there. It's nuts. The top 20 names in the entire world in the pinball rankings, they're all there. Everyone's there.
So the IFPA is the second of the 2.
That's right. That's on the the EPC is first.
Yes.
Yeah. So the 11 British guys who are going over, that's the EPC at the beginning, and then the following weekend, me and Andy are playing in the World Championships against Keith Elwin. Against
you'll be there you go. Sort me out of an interview if you want, Craig. Talk us through the the EPC is the first one, the EPC. Talk us through the format and the competitions. Obviously, I know you said there's a golf sort of warm up on the Thursday. Once it heats up, how's that going? What are the tournaments looking like? What's the structure of that, mate?
So the pin golf is I think there's 45 people and 4 groups, so 180 people in that, and only you have to be in the top 6 out of 45 in your group to qualify through. So the cut is brutal, right? Only the best will get through. That's a bit of a
or the luckiest,
huh?
Or the luckiest.
Yeah. Better be lucky than good. But so that's that. And then on the next day, half the field will be qualifying, right? So you've got let's see, how is it? It's groups of 16 and let's see, so half the field. Yeah, you've got a group of 16. You're going to be playing in the main. You're going to be playing 15 matches head to head, and the top 4 out of the 16 in each group will qualify for the finals on the Sunday.
Okay, so but that's not the classics run under a different format. I take it.
Classics are different formats. So I'll start with the main. Yeah, so so it's all sort of seeded groups. So you kind of got, you're ranked from 1 to 16 seed, and it's kind of tried to balance it out as you'll get one top 20 player, and then so on and so off.
Have you seen your group?
Yes, that's right. So I've been grouped with Escher Lefkov, which will be very interesting. So world number 1, and great player. So I'll be playing him 1-on-1 in a week and a half, which is quite surreal because like I say, I've only been playing like 2 or 3 years. So to get that opportunity is going to be fun, right? I got nothing to lose. And
when did you find it out? I'm interested in that. When did you find out what group you were in and he was
about
in
a week ago? I think it was a week or so ago. Yeah.
How did the news come to you? Where was it? How'd you find out?
I can't remember.
We have been messaging each other relentlessly for weeks in the build up to this, like checking the website every day, have the groups come out, have the machines been listed, all this kind of stuff. It's been months of planning, mate. It really has. We're taking it seriously. We're going to try and do the best that we can to qualify. It was about a week and a half ago, and so I, like Yuen said, he's been only doing this for a few years. I've never played Escher. Escher, so he's the current reigning world champion, world number 1, the absolute, he is the nuts, mate. He is and he's only 19. He's
all right. Come on, let's
don't build him up too much.
Yeah, come on.
Yen's going to take him down in a week. So there we go.
See what happens.
It's going to be awesome.
Let's give him a game anyway.
Exactly. So then we got this. That's what I was just checking before. So we've got Neil set up a little Facebook Messenger group for the 11 of us, and we're sharing our advice and sharing bits of information and stuff. And so I think Yuen might have posted the fact that the groups have been put out on our messengers, and then we all started talking about the players that obviously we're going to be playing against and all that kind of stuff. And then yesterday I noticed, probably ahead of time because I'm obsessive like that, and then I've been checking the website every morning. I'd wake up and I'm like, oh my god, the games have been posted now. So not only do we know the players that we'll be playing against, we now know the banks of games that we're going to be playing.
On what machines?
Exactly. So we've got like a week and a half of cramming, of making sure that we can deal with these games that we're going to be getting.
Okay, right then. Right, so what games you got?
Metallica, Guardians, Jackbot, what else? No Fear, Doctor Who, Creature from Black Lagoon, Corvette, and I forget the other 2 off the top of my head. But
that's a lot. How are you on those? Mixed bag, you mean?
Yeah, not bad. I mean, I mean, not my absolute favorites in there, but I can play those games,
sure,
and it'll be a good challenge, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Craig? What you drawn?
My banks, I think, reading, because again we're part of like different chats and stuff with all of the players, the Americans and stuff on Discord. I think that the consensus is that I've got the best bank of games. So I've got Indy 500, I've got Shadow, I've got the newer games that I've got are Rush, which I don't know. I've never played Rush yet, so that's the one I'm a bit nervous about. But then I've got a couple of Data East games. So I've got Last Action Hero, and I've got WWF Royal Rumble. I've got Getaway High Speed 2. So basically what they've tried to do is create a mix, so it's like you've got some newer Stern games. So so I think I've got 3 Stern games. I've got 5 Bally Williams games, and then 2 Data East games. So you've got like a mix, but only modern. So only DMD or newer games.
Okay.
And that's in the main. And then in the classics, then you've got older games. Not really any no electromechanicals, I don't think. So we don't actually go that old in the classics. But yeah, I think a lot of the Americans are taken aback by the fact that the EPC is just played on modern games, because pretty much all of the tournaments in America, you have to be good at all different eras in order to win, whereas if you can actually win the EPC just knowing modern games. And when we're talking about modern, we're talking like Terminator 2 on.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you were reading them out, then actually they sounded mostly of that sort of, WPC era, to be fair. I mean, and the only one stuck in my mind was really Guardians.
Yeah.
Everything else seemed
Good game,
pretty.
great game.
Yeah, no, but everything else seemed dated compared to that.
There's 3 really new ones, like Metallica and that, and then most of them are sort of mid range.
Well, Metallica, people, Metallica's probably 10 years old now, I guess. Something like that.
I've actually got Aerosmith in mine as well, mate.
Have you?
Yeah, which I've not had loads of experience of, but and I think this is why me and Yuen have been speaking a lot, because I've actually been to Fulda once before, and so I've actually played quite a few of these games that we will be playing. So it's not only do you know the game, it's do you know the actual game. Do you know
that particular one?
Yeah.
As I said at the start of it, I played 2 different James Bonds.
Exactly.
They played totally differently. Yeah,
exactly right.
Very different.
Yeah. So what we've been doing, again, I know this is next
Don't
level.
give away all our secrets, Craig. Come on.
yeah.
Man.
We're getting ultra geek.
Yeah, ultra geek. But we've been watching a lot of the videos, on. So Jim Lindsay, who is he's actually a British guy from Leeds. So he is actually Kate Rothwell Jackson's dad. So he is, again, a very well-known person within the UK community. He married a German lady called Dina, and this is probably about 8 years ago now, and he moved out to Germany, and he is now probably one of, I would say, in the top 3 biggest pinball streamers in the world.
Okay.
And so him and Dina, JDL Pinball, so Jim and Dina Lindsay Pinball, they stream all of the tournaments from Fulda, and so he on pinballvideos.com, like he puts all of the tournaments out there, and so you can see all the games being played. So having a look at the games and stuff like that, which
that's a bloody good URL. He's done well to get that. Pinballvideos.com.
Hey. Oh, so that's not actually him. So pinballvideos.com is like the big one, which stores all of the stream. So like not just JDL Pinball, but like everyone. So all of Dead Flip stuff, including Gonzo's Flipporamas tutorials, are all on
quite
there.
Quite right. We love a bit of pinballvideo.com.
Exactly right. I heard there's a brilliant Godzilla and a brilliant Star Wars tutorial.
Well, I feel one of the Godzilla tutorials is better than the other.
Certainly a few more views on one of them, I tell you.
As the sparkly lights in the background.
Yeah. That's it. But so like mate, it's a massive deal. This, like, from a competitive, not for a lot of people, but for if you are into competitive pinball in the world, this is as I've been doing this for a long time. This is as big a thing that has ever existed.
Wow. Okay. I mean, this is brilliant, because this is like almost building year on year. Because you were saying this stuff last year as well with different things. You were talking about you were so thrilled that first of all the big you were able to attend Pinfest, and you attended it before. Obviously, you won it before, but you attended it, and you stayed overnight, and you were able to go in both tournaments. You're really excited about that, and the prize money had gone up, and then Neil did the UK Open as well, and he said, this is things are now it's more and more good stuff happening, and now you're the next year on, and I know it's over in Europe and whatnot, but you're saying there's more and more. This is it's just like it keeps progressing, pinball, and moving up.
Yeah, it's massive. Like to have the caliber of players coming over for this is for us it doesn't get any better. It really
Immense. It's going to be immense, right? It's,
How much is the prize money?
EPC,
For the EPC prize money?
nah.
glory, all for the glory.
No money.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. It's
That's
not
why I
about that. I don't
that's why I
think.
didn't go. You know what I mean? I can't be.
Pinfest for you, Gonzo. We know.
I can't, you know, I'm all about.
Finalists last year. Got to build on that.
You know, yes,
Come on.
this is it. This is it. I'm all about the prize fund. If I can't, you know, can't thank.
Yeah.
UK Open. Come.
There you go. Yeah, that's it.
I'm not dusting off me twanger for no money. You know, twanger for hire.
So Fulda's never played for money, and they for whatever reason, I don't know whether it's to do with legality. Same deal in Sweden. A lot of European countries, they don't do it. It's just for the glories. You'll get a trophy at the end or whatever. And a lot of Americans can't handle that, and like they don't get it. The fact that they're paying an entry fee, but then there's no.
Where's the money going? That's what they're saying. Where's my entry fee?
Exactly. So maybe there will be, but they're just not publicising it. I don't know. That's what has happened.
That should be another thread on Pinball Info.
Where's
Where's all the money gone?
Exactly. Oh God. Yeah. Let's not go there. The IFPA, the World Championship, the winner gets a new inbox game. So
you sold me this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Of their choosing, or just do they know what it is?
No, this is you get choice. I don't think it will be a premium. It might be. It has been in the past. But
might not be a Stern.
What are you going to choose then, Craig?
Yeah, that's a bloody good question.
Oh mate. Oh,
go on. What would you
pick it out? Come on the stream.
It's a good one.
Oh, there's only one choice that I would make. It would be Foo Fighters. Yeah,
good choice.
Yeah. Okay. What about you, Yen? What would you choose?
Oh yeah, I'm not in it though, so I can't.
No, but it's a good game.
Well, Foo Fighters is a great game. I played it at Funland in Brunswick, and that's really good. Good fun. Really good shooter.
Okay. Why would you pick Foo Fighters, Craig?
Oh, like it again. Like I said, I've not played it, but I have watched plenty of it, and it shoots very unique, very interesting, very different. Yeah, I bet it is. Like it just looks really cool. It looks like really like a fresh game. It doesn't feel like a copy and paste job.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like anything else. It feels like, wow, like that ball is moving in a completely different way, in the same way as I thought when I saw Godzilla for the first time. It's like it looks really cool, and I like the band as well, which helps, but that's certainly not why I'm choosing to buy would be choosing a Foo Fighters. But also so Raymond Davidson is on code for that, and he is one of the best pinball players in the world. So he's currently ranked number 4 in the world, but previous world champion. Hit the depth of his code. He's done Rush, he's done Led Zeppelin. I have faith in him as a coder that he will make a really deep and really interesting game. So yeah, Foo Fighters, I'm pretty sure will be a big hit, and not that it's not already, but like I think it would stand the test of time as well. I think it'll be a top 5 game.
Oh, exciting! I've got one coming. So
I know.
Good choice. You're gonna love it.
Yeah. I'm not winning it in a competition. I've got to buy it.
Nor am I, by the way.
Well, you don't know. I was just imagining in my mind, Keith Elwyn, if you didn't get to choose and Keith Elwyn wins the IFPA and he won a Godzilla. Oh, come on,
mate! But that's the funny thing. There's a bunch of them that are like that. So Zach Sharp's going. So he's the head of marketing at Stern. You've got Keith Elwyn there, and Raymond Davison. They all work for Stern. You've got Tim coming over, who's a programmer at Stern. So if any of these guys win, it's just like, well, are Stern actually giving them a game, or is it just like a backhanded?
Is there anyone from other manufacturers going?
Nah, they're all crap.
No. Oh, really?
Ouch.
No, there actually isn't. I don't think.
No. Okay, so
Travis works for somebody, doesn't he? Travis Murray? No.
I don't know.
Steve Bowden. I don't know.
Oh,
So I'm thinking-
actually, Bowden, Bowden, and there's a Valhalla in the game bank at IFPA, isn't there? And he worked on the code for that. And Colin McAlpine has worked for P3 as well, right?
That's right. Yeah. So there's a few.
There are some.
There you
I was
go.
being harsh.
Not crap. They're all right.
No, they're very good. Very, very good.
Yeah. Oh, this is really exciting. So how can we follow this festival of pinball, which, 11 days, which obviously Craig's attending 9, Yen's doing 4. I guess they're different people streaming it, obviously.
JDL Pinball will be the number one source for sort of live streams of some of the action, for sure, across the whole 11 days, I believe.
Yeah.
And then there'll be some updates on the Pinball Info Forum, most likely. And there'll be some, I guess, match play links with the standings as they in real time. If anyone's up for following that, then they can do. Yeah,
there will be people following it. There always is. Actually, it's been a few times actually when it's been sort of late at night, and particularly when I certainly remember it. Andy being in the States for maybe it was the IFPA, quite possibly. Remember, certainly
that was in disc, yeah. So that was the one in California. Yeah, I
certainly remember tuning in and watching him on a classics game.
Yeah,
I'm not a great watcher of pinball streaming because I don't really understand the rules of the games. It makes it hard to watch, I think. If you don't understand, but because Andy was like, I'll switch it on, I'll have a little look. And I went on the forum just to get the link, and it was silly. It was 1 a.m, it was 2 a.m, or something like that, whatever it was. And then people posting, I'm watching Andy. Oh yeah, me too. I'm watching him, and it was good. And so people will, people will watch it. And obviously you've not got the restraints of the time zone there because it's in Europe. So
yeah.
I think you will have a lot of it. I'm very excited about it. So next Thursday you're going over, Yen, and obviously pin golf, but the qualification for you starts on the Friday, right?
That's right. Yes. So for classics and main will be Friday, and then Craig and the other half of the field will do classics and main qualifying on the Saturday as well, and then Sunday. I believe Sunday's where all the finals is it?
Yeah.
Craig.
Yeah. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
So the finals for main, that's really, the format is really interesting because I think it's best of 7 match head to head, and you can choose your games from the 20-30 available. So first to 4, whoever you get matched up against, it'll be a real battle there. I've never even played best of 5, so best of 7 is going to be something else, I think.
Yeah, I think our aim is just to get to that point. If we can get to the point where we get through qualification, then it's like anything can happen. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'd love to qualify.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's going to be brutally hard to qualify. It's going to be incredibly hard. But yeah, if we can get to a point where as many Brits are getting into that top 64 in main, it'll be
that'd be fun.
It would be huge. It'd be absolutely huge.
So, and you're out of the 15 head-to-head matches, you'll need to win at least 10, right? So at least 10 to get in. So that's no mean feat against such a good bunch of players.
Yeah,
guys, it sounds like such a task. But you know what? Hopefully, an ultimately rewarding one. Very excited for you. And what you must do is we have to leave it. It'll probably be 2 weeks. I've got got a busy week next week, but you're going to be out there anyway. So please, when you come back on here, join us, take some video footage, take some pictures for me, please. Come back here. We wish you all the best luck in the world. What we'll do is underneath this video, we will post the links to anything and everything that's got anything to do with it. Everyone in the UK is rooting, not just for you two, but all 11 of you. But, thanks so much for coming on. Obviously, double trouble up there. Wish you good luck in your double quest, Craig. And I've got, mate. You know what, mate? I think you're going to do really, really well. I really do. You've had a tremendous last few years. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Did tremendously well at the UK Open. Hey, not too bad in the Deadpool Challenge either. See, which is good, mate. Really best of luck to you, Craig. Thanks ever so much, buddy, and I'll catch up with you soon.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Cheers.
Okay. Cheers. Bye.